It is week 7 in the National Football League, and leaves are changing and tendencies are starting to play out, enabling me to help you formulate a winning daily fantasy roster. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Mike Cardano, personal advisor to the Dos Equis guy, and this is your Daily Fantasy Minute. The quarterback. Your football team needs one. Your fantasy team needs one. There are 5 or 6 quarterbacks that look pretty good to me this week, but one stands out head and shoulders above the rest, and it's because of the woeful competition that he's going to face. Carson Palmer will be looking across the line of scrimmage at a Baltimore Ravens defense that allows the most fantasy points per game to opposing quarterbacks. It's not good. Think about it. The Ravens have been awful the past 2 weeks, allowing Colin Kaepernick and Josh McCown to dress up as Dan Marino and Jim Kelly for Halloween, throwing for nearly 800 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions on 78 pass attempts while only sacking the quarterback once. It's over 10 yards per drop back, which doesn't really happen in the NFL, except against the Ravens. Now, the Cardinals have the 3rd highest team total of the week of 28, and your biggest risk here is that a blowout will happen and the game script changes late so that you don't get full 4 quarters of Palmer throwing the ball down the field. Now, this is an ideal fantasy matchup, and 3 quarters of Carson Palmer may be very well good enough to get you to the promised land in a cash game or tournament. And at $6,700 on DraftKings and $8,200 on FanDuel, he's still priced at a point where you can expect to get more than your money's worth. Over his past 2 games, Todd Gurley has an average market share of carries of nearly 80%, edged out only fractionally by Le'Veon Bell. Now, the Gurley man faces a Browns defense ranked 31st according to Football Outsiders and 32nd according to Numberfire. And they play the run as if they're allergic to the ball carrier. Now, when you combine that with Jeff Fisher's propensity and lifelong desire to run the football, well, you've got a fantasy running back scenario made in heaven. Now, it's a perfect storm for Gurley this week, who should see his first touchdown of the season, and he's at a mid-tier price point that you won't see in the weeks to come, so grab him at these prices in cash games while you can. I do expect Gurley to be heavily owned in tournaments, but I wouldn't fade him. This could very well be a scenario where you have to keep up with the leaders. Now, for more facts, tips, and tidbits on NFL and college football daily fantasy action, head on over to dailyroto.com or keep it right here on the Fantasy Sports Network. I'm Mike Cardano, and this has been your Daily Fantasy Minute.